Not a massive amount.
Oh yeah.
3, 2, 1, action.
Hi everyone, we just saw Dredd, and
It wasn't dreadful.
yeah, we're gonna talk spoiler free for a while, and then afterwards we'll be all like spoilers. So
Whenever we all start shouting spoilers, turn the fucking video off if you don't want spoilers. Yeah, you and your small island of living.
Hey, in our defense, they normally get them first.
It's true. When the Avengers come out here 3 weeks in advance, I was in America, and I was like, fucking hell!
You were like, fucking hell, we were the ones over here who couldn't watch it. Fuck you.
What? Why couldn't you watch it?
Because it hadn't come out.
It came out over here before America.
Did it?
Yeah, by about 3 weeks.
We just said that.
Yeah, I thought you said that.
I was in America when it came out in the UK. I had to wait 2 weeks to see it in America.
And we're off topic. This is 30 seconds into the video.
Dredd was good. Dredd was much better than I expected. It was very similar to the Raid, but that was to be expected because the Raid ripped it off when it was in pre-production. Okay. I said this based on the trailers, and I'm saying it still now. Take this film and give it the look of the 1990s version. Best possible Judge Dredd film. Although I found it hilarious that another character completely makes a much better Judge Dredd than Carl Urban. I'll talk about this when we spoilers.
I would like to ask, Zara, you have seen, you've read the comics.
Not very much, but some.
You
yeah.
have. Have you read the comics?
Absolutely not. I've had no exposure
So
to
you've
Judge
had
Dredd.
no
I haven't even
exposure.
watched the Seagal movie.
Stallone.
But you
Whatever.
haven't had the I am the law!
Oh, of course.
Ah!
I've seen that.
Oh, okay. Well, you've at least seen that, so you've seen the film. So I mean, we've come across it as a non-original fans, as it would be, and
As a non-original fan, the magic gun that shoots everything is completely Deus Ex Machina.
maybe to it. Well, it ran out of bullets. Oh, whoopsie! Spoiler alert. I thought it was fantastic. I was actually here watching it last night as well. And I don't tend to go for films and then watch them again the next night.
Aaron here, he had his ticket paid for by me because it goes on my blip, but this guy saw it with his own money twice in 2 days.
And he doesn't spend his own fucking money on anything.
Yeah, he's Scottish, so.
It's a Scottish Semitic comment.
Well, and
So yeah,
would it be?
we're going to stay perfectly non-anti-Semitic here.
Well, we're not coming to anything. I said Scottish. I insulted Scottish people.
I'm just saying, we're getting borderline here.
I will say the movie was visually stunning. It was very pretty. And it's worth going to see in
Very
3D.
low budget.
The 3D was proper use of 3D. It wasn't just shit flying at your face.
I agree. The 3D wasn't bad. It was definitely non-post 3D, which was good. And some elements of it really stood out. Kind of like Avatar in that sense. But I watched it 2D yesterday, 3D today. If you're not a big fan of 3D, go with 2D anyway. You're not going to miss much.
I would have preferred 2D, but we couldn't see it in 2D. We didn't have the time, so we had to do 3D. I just don't care for wearing 3D glasses, which is ironic considering what I'm still doing.
This is why you do this?
Oh yeah. But then you look kind of stupid.
You
Oh,
put them on, don't you?
In case no one noticed, new vlog person. This is Teddy.
Wow, shocker. This is my debut on vlogs, I suppose.
Yeah, you're getting to just be yourself in front of a camera.
I do that all the time in the flubs.
Yeah, but the flubs you're not intending to do it for the camera. You're sort of just doing it and the camera's there.
And that's much more real. Keeping it real!
Yeah, man, keep it real, that.
Would it be terribly naughty if I wanted a Judge Dredd, a sequel to this, where Sylvester Stallone played the Chief Judge, a la Max von Sydow in the 1990s version?
It would be bad because he can't act.
It would be
Or
hilarious.
speak.
Yeah, or
Give him a cameo.
Give him a cameo as a judge who gets killed very quickly.
as the Chief Judge who gets assassinated.
No,
And he gets to, Judge Dredd gets to say, I am the law in some sort of a bust, and he overhears and he says, you are not the law. I am the law!
I mean, I don't
And he
know.
dies.
Maybe it was just me, but I did personally the idea of the Chief Judge. Why couldn't they have called him the Chief Justice at least?
I think it
that
might
would
have
have
been
been
called that
so
in
much
earlier
better
versions.
sounding.
In the 90s version, And I think in the comic, there wasn't just Chief Judge. There were like various titles for people, but they did more about the politics of the judging sort of shit in the 90s version. But the 90s version, script-wise and tone-wise, was not very accurate.
Yeah, it was.
As somebody who knows nothing about either of these franchises, I'm going to say that Judge Dredd's very like the Punisher.
Yeah, he's like a fascist Punisher, openly fascist Punisher. He's a bit like the Punisher crossed with Rorschach. Well, it's that sort of anti-hero, which was quite odd. Judge Dredd, 2000 AD, its biggest audience tends to be rebellious youth and rebellious youth who aged. So it's really quite ironic that Judge Dredd's biggest fan base are the people who in the comic would be getting killed or beaten up by him. It's just amusing to me.
Masochists, maybe?
I don't know. It's like socialists supporting Hitler. Oh fuck! I did say that.
Yes, you did. But we weren't going to highlight it.
I think the appeal of something like Judge Dredd is authority, and because Judge Dredd's never in these things seem to be wrong. So you got absolute authority, being always right, is appealing on a visceral level. It's very similar to people's belief in God. God is always going to punish the people who are wrong, whether it's this life or the next. It's got a similar appeal, just pop cultured.
Okay, so we went from Judge Dredd to Hitler to God. I mean, really.
Next we'll be talking about fucking ABBA or something.
ABBA. Well, Mamma Mia.
Why
Vlog.
the hell were they listening to modern
Coming
day
next
pop
week,
music
Mamma
in
Mia
it?
vlog.
Why the hell did one of them have a Samsung Galaxy S1? Jesus Christ, this is supposed to be 400 years in the future.
I have to
years,
admit,
more like
I have
supposed
to
to be
admit.
50 years.
But I personally like the difference in look. She didn't. I did. That run down today look intermixed with very high tech, which is run down high tech.
You mean the Blade Runner look?
Yeah.
The everything look.
The comic
like
had
that.
much more of
I like
the
that.
future. It was like very run down everything future.
I don't like
And
the
you had
idea of that
random
because
things-
that's not how things are. You just need to look at our own world, our own society as it stands. The amount of things from different decades and centuries past and how they intermix. And I thought it was much more realistic than the 90s one, which,
Was if
yeah,
Apple
let's not talk
the
much about
90s one,
that.
the good thing about the 90s one was the look.
I didn't like
I
it.
thought the black woman who I think was a high up judge, I'm not sure, maybe she was the chief.
She was.
She was probably too young to be the chief judge, but
No, they said it at the beginning of the film. Chief Judge wants to talk to you. She talks. Thus, she is the Chief Judge.
I still think she's too young. But
She had a suit.
because she was in a suit type thing, she should have been in a 90s film version of the suit, like Stallone wore. The sort of this crazy suit thing with bits gold and chains and shit.
Chains, everything is better with
It
chains.
looked like a Dredd because if you look at
Even
the
sex?
Carl Urban.
Even sex.
You look at the Carl Urban versus the Sylvester Stallone uniform. One looks like the dress uniform version of the other. One looks like the motorcycle version of the other.
That's a valid point, actually. Yeah.
Give her if she should have had the full-on comic book version of the uniform, which includes one shoulder pad that is like half a foot long eagle made out of gold. That sort of thing. It would show that she's in dress uniform all the time. It's like the dress uniforms I've seen in police officers and
As a nod back,
military.
that would have made quite a lot of sense.
Thank you.
Like
And
the
it would
dress
have been-
uniforms in Star Trek just look completely and utterly stupid.
Yeah, but it would have made a nice little Easter egg for the fans. I also think at least once in the film, Sylvester Stallone should have said, "I knew you'd say that." Not Sylvester Stallone, Carl Urban, because it's not a catchphrase of the character to my knowledge. It was just in the 90s film, but it would have been a nice little Easter egg just in there. Like even at the end, he's like to the villain, what's your, how do you plead? And then he could have easily replied to whatever happened as, "I knew you'd say that."
Did the psychic bitch not say that at one point?
No, I don't think so. But see, that was said about 15 times, whether it should have been or not in the 90s version. Easter eggs. I like Easter eggs from remakes and retellings of things and new versions. That are not going to be noticed by new people, a la you, but would be noticed by people who've seen both.
Also, they're cheap as shit in April.
Right?
Easter eggs.
Yeah, they're very nice, though. But let's not get into that.
So, but yeah, overall good. But why was there so much modern pop music in it? Even the guy who was listening to music, it was listening to something very modern.
Well, I would agree. There was one particular scene when they were doing the first bust at the beginning, which you'll know what I'm talking about when you hear it. And it's a piece of music that I know I've heard on popular radio station today, and it's that it really takes you out of it whenever you're listening to something you know
What's it
has
called?
been released today. I don't know the track.
Was
I
it-
don't know
was
its name.
How's it
I
go?
don't listen to these things whenever I just
Was
hear
it
them in the
possibly
background.
Where's Your Head At?
Was that in it?
Where's Your
I
Head
completely missed that if that was in
I
there.
hope to God it wasn't.
Dear God, that would be terrible.
Well, there was one. It wasn't actually during the bust. There was like a guy listening to music at one point, and it was a pop music. That was it.
He
Actually,
died,
yeah.
so
It was. They should have had either old music showing more of your timeless, sort of taking bits from different eras, which would show that some music has survived the nuclear holocaust, or compose a completely new piece.
Yeah, but budget constraint, that's pretty...
Old music costs less than modern pop music.
I know, but composing new pieces, I'm saying, would be completely beyond the budget. That would be...
Not
pretty much-
really.
It depends on the composer.
A cheap soundtrack, a cheap song, from the past.
or they could just take the Japanese anime style and just steal someone else's, change a few notes, and hey presto, you have a new piece of music.
She was
Depending on
singing
the-
that song that your girlfriend wrote, and all they did was change up a couple of notes.
That's the way to go.
I think that writing one, depending on what you were wanting to originally get, would have been cheaper or more expensive, depends. But it was mostly good.
So we're gonna give a spoiler alert yet, or what?
Let's all say spoilers. Spoilers!
Spoilers.
No, like this.
Spoilers! Spoilers!
Yes. Fuck off now if you don't want spoilers. Go, leave.
Okay,
We've
now
got
we're
triple
going for
revenue already.
spoilers.
Okay, now that they've all gone, let's
The leader
talk about
of the
good
evil
stuff.
judges was actually the best screen Judge Dredd ever. He had the fucking Judge Dredd chin.
He was the guy. Like, he was awesome.
Lex was the man.
He, face-wise and voice-wise and, attitude-wise, this guy actually should have played Judge Dredd.
You know, you're not the first person I've heard say that.
Fucking hell, you got the real... okay, Carl Urban is okay, except when he's appearing in films I don't like, such as The Truth About Demons or whatever. But he really, he was okay as Judge
He
Dredd.
was in Truth About Demons?
He was the lead in it, yeah.
Jesus!
Dr. Hallie
I
Bala.
thought he was very good as Dredd.
Oh, he was a very good actor as...
Lex
Facially, they
would
should
have
have given
been even
prosthetics or
better
something.
though.
What, the chin job?
Well, yeah, you could have done a prosthetics chin on. Like, it
Oh,
happens all the time in films.
This is Dredd we're talking about.
Joe has the
he
chin for
is
the job.
just the chin.
Yeah, Judge Dredd is meant to have like a weirdly square head that you
I know
only
who
see
has
part
the
of.
chin for the job. Adam West.
No. There's a reason Stallone was
old.
chosen for Judge Dredd in the 90s
Well, he is a-
because of the size of his chin.
He looks like he was hitting the ship with the shuffle.
But, yeah.
Do you think my chin could do it?
No.
But Stallone insisted on taking the mask off and shit like that.
You have too many chins.
You couldn't have just let me come down easy, could you?
No.
It's just a no.
Colin.
Well, thanks
Colin.
very much.
You have enough chins to play 4 Judge Dredds.
4 Judge Dredds.
You had all
And
4
that
evil
man
ones.
killed 64 people on screen, so
No,
I
64.
could kill. I counted last time. I'll admit it. I actually did count. After we got to about 15, my thoughts was, yeah, I'm going to keep counting this, and I really did keep count. So
I'm guessing
you
after
could get
they
away with
gave
killing
the, they gave the
two-
death count
that
halfway
I was
through.
actually no, I'd already started counting by that point.
You
Okay.
could kill 266.
266. I think that I could do that. That being said, it's not even the same as one of their sectors.
But you have to judge them as being cunts.
But cunts have a purpose. A lot of these people didn't. They just walked about and got killed.
Yeah, I don't think an incendiary round was appropriate for that little booth. Any bystander would have just been burned to death.
Yeah,
in
but they
hideous
were all
fashion.
told they had to go into their rooms.
Yeah, it's called collateral
I wonder
damage.
how many people were being coerced like that other guy that they didn't let go. The big ginger fucking socially inept computery nerd bastard was let go because he was being coerced. Who the fuck else was being coerced? I'm pretty sure most of the gang probably was.
I agree. He
least
should
some of
have
them.
died, and he should have died yelling with his hands up, going, "I am invincible!"
Shut up, Boris. No, but that's the exact opposite of my point.
I think that guy was actually this film's version of Rob Schneider, but unlike Rob Schneider, he didn't say much. You notice the guy who they shot and then they found the wife of? That guy looks just like Joss Whedon.
Yeah,
does! Yes!
He does. I didn't like the way they pushed that down our throats. I mean, it was pretty clear what they were trying to tell us
Whenever-
before they showed his death.
It would have been better just to subtly say,
See, I didn't. When I saw his face, I actually didn't put it together with the other guy because I was too
I
busy
heard
going.
you.
I was too busy going, Joss Whedon. And then they came back and was like, "Oh, Joss Whedon got killed." Okay, that makes sense. Why has Mega City 1 got 800 million
Wait.
people in it? Whenever America today has 300 million, why is it post-Holocaust they've almost tripled America's population?
there's nothing better to do than fuck.
I'm guessing there's a
Good
lot of immigration. I mean,
No,
the
no,
rest of the
there's-
world's a
there's-
wasteland too, I would
There's a
assume.
bunch of mega cities all over the world. There's judges. Basically, the world is one country at this point, the highest one. In the UK, the judges wear kilts.
Ooh.
Kilt judges.
Yes. And
How do they handle the motorbikes with like? Because I,
don't
mean,
know.
if you're wearing a real kilt, obviously you don't wear underwear.
Dude,
And I
dude.
mean that and a
Armoured
motorbike.
kilts.
Colin,
But
in
you're
Judge-
still going to get the breeze.
In Judge Dredd the comics, the bikes don't have wheels. They're hover bikes.
It's still going to be cold when
I
you
want
run
a
that
hover
fast.
bike.
Okay, yeah, but
Well, then you can freeze your balls off and enjoy it later. Some people like that kind of shit.
I-
Don't
Some
touch.
people, yeah, those are the people. That's the whole point. We're judging.
see, this is. I'm quite sure that the British ones wear kilts. I seem to recall be told this. Also, in the comics, Mega City 1 is actually a lot bigger than in this version because this version has Baltimore to Washington D.C., which is actually about.
Boston.
Was it? I thought it was
Boston,
Baltimore.
not Baltimore. Boston.
Okay, then this is probably the okay. Then
Sure,
they
on
got
the map it was
dimensions right.
pretty big looking.
Yeah, because
I'm wondering why they stopped at the Canadian border, though, considering.
Because they don't like Canadians. They're a bit like me.
Yeah, I know, but Canada must be.
Are you sure it said Boston? I was sure it said
It was
Baltimore. 'cause
definitely
Baltimore and
Boston.
Washington D.C. is only like 15 miles.
It
This
was
guy has seen every
definitely
200%
Boston.
of the times that you've seen.
That's true.
So I win by
Also,
default.
Canadians, you filthy, helpful fucking bastards.
I might be going to Canada in March.
Oh, cool. Don't bother.
I might be. Omega's been invited to a Toronto convention, so
Be warned, if somebody invites you into their house and offers you food and offers to give you bed and board and is very nice, they actually mean it.
Well, you won't end up in a pie?
No.
Oh, wow.
What fucking weirdos.
I know. Weird.
They're like
So-
Germans.
someone write a comment and tell me if the British judges do in fact wear kilts, because I'm quite sure they do, and they wear. Well, the American ones have gold and black, or gold and dark blue. The British ones have green.
But yeah, guys, it's now that we're after the spoiler warning part, I can make it very clear to you. A few people die in this film. I didn't want to blow you away there
Yeah, well
with
earned,
that
it's 18
concept,
rating.
but a few people
shit,
do
the gore
die.
was amazing.
They really did push at it.
It was better than the taint.
Not quite.
The gore was better than the taint.
Well, quality-wise, because they got a much bigger budget.
Yeah,
Not as much
I'm
gore
not
as the
going to
Taint.
get into that
The
one.
Taint was ridiculously over the top.
Oh, yeah, but
Oh, everyone, 18 is the UK equivalent of NC-17.
that was the UK equivalent of R.
No, R is 15.
What's M?
M is, I'm sure, Australian.
It is Australian mature.
I think that's the I don't know what
It's their equivalent of 12.
Okay.
Well, I don't give a shit about ratings. Go see a film if you like it.
Yeah, I personally don't think the 18 rating should exist.
Tell them all Uncle Aaron told you.
And we don't have an unrated over here.
Yes, we
Everything
do.
is
Only on
rated.
DVD release.
You do.
Oh, not in the UK, we don't.
Yes,
Only
you
on
do.
DVD
You
release.
there is unrated and there's exempt from
Yeah, there's
classification.
exempt.
And there's
Unrated
also
doesn't
you
exist
can-
in the
you
UK.
can
Everything's
release-
BBFC.
The
or-
unrated exists on DVD release. For example, there were some of them stupid blonde, what do you call them, the long-haired blonde twat who's and everything and is not funny.
That's a lot of people described right there.
He's male.
Again,
Right.
a lot of people fit into that category.
He's always kind of a stoner nice guy. Anyway, whatever, one of his films was released as unrated on DVD and I bought, my mum rented it thinking unrated meant it was universal.
Yeah, Colin, you can release the UK stuff without the BBFC.
Well, I'm going to
It just
table
means
this
that a
because
lot of places will not sell it.
we will come back to this after the vlog.
Make
and
it,
I'll
leave a
prove you
comment
all
on
right.
TikTok.
Yeah, personally, I don't think that the 18/NC-17 rating should exist. If you can marry, fuck people, become a soldier, and die for your country, you should be allowed to see whatever you like, as long as there's no, as long as the stuff being seen is legal to be seen in general. Because
Really, I think if you can legally be employed by the filmmaker to be in the film at 16, then there should be no rating above
it can be seen
16.
in films before that.
Oh no, this is employed independently as yourself, not employed with parental consent.
Yeah, you should. An 18-year-old, they. As far as I'm concerned, if I wanted to be nice to the government, I would suggest make anything that's high rated based on violence, make that a 15. And then if you want to have hardcore pornography and sex and shit, if you want to make that an 18, okay. Even though I don't think it should be.
Well, sex should be. Porn should be shown at high school, man.
Yeah, I'm saying that if you can have the sex, you should be allowed to watch it. But the government, will be all like.
Depends what your definition is.
Dude, everybody should receive an education into all fetishes, be told that nothing that they feel is weird, and understand how to do it safely. Risk-aware, consensual kink, the rack system, should be taught from 11.
That is going to lead to a lot of people going...
Well, those people are idiots and can go and fuck themselves. Teaching somebody who's going to have sex not to have sex is idiotic, and nobody can disagree with that and keep a logical mind.
What if the kink is dependent on non-consensual stuff or stuff that is...
Then it doesn't fit into the rack system, and we should be taught that only within a consensual boundary.
Alright. I believe that you have interesting points, and I would like to subscribe to your newsletter.
Thank you. I have a Tumblr.
It's, here. No, you're not going to publish it, are you?
No.
Okay, it is, yes, this totally real address right here.
I'm not going to add anything there. This is too much work. I would have to find it in the footage.
No,
I don't
you
do that.
You could just put something stupid there, like...
No, Colin, you just look like an idiot. Drop it while you can.
Everyone's looking like an idiot. That's the point of this, isn't it? I know you told me this was about. This is right.
Anyway, back to the film. I enjoyed it. It's highly visually stunning. If
You're not going to judge me, are you?
If you enjoyed The Raid but like pretty things, go and see it.
Yeah, I mean, do you like Judge Dredd or not? Give it a shot. 2D or 3D doesn't matter.
And if you don't like comic book movies, it doesn't fucking matter because it was a good, stupid action flick that you can turn your brain off and watch.
It's nice to see something that's very, very violent and action-packed. It was very 80s in that way.
Mm.
It was a nice throwback to 80s action films. And I want Sylvester Stallone in the sequel.
You want Sylvester Stallone?
Just simply as an Easter egg for the 1990s version.
I want Sylvester Stallone tied up and whipped, and not in a fun way.
Because the 1990s version had its good points. The look was stunning. The ABC robot was fucking amazing. It had Max von Sydow in it, a.k.a. Ming the Merciless. It had him in it. It was terrible, but it had good bits.
Sounds like me.
Well,
Terrible, but with good bits.
Well, this is good. Well, this is great. And it has bad bits. I think unite the two ones in the right way, you could come up with the perfect Judge Dredd film.
How the fuck did he tie that guy up in the booth? Like, how did he do all that before they dispatched people who were on the floor with him?
Do not fuck with Judge Dredd.
No, but he's a fucking ninja.
Obviously.
Sometimes he's a fucking Cyberman, just... Other times he's like...
Of course, I have to wonder why the only people in the film who had actually heard of Judge Dredd apparently were the evil judges. I think at least some of the criminals should have gone like, Dredd? Oh, shit.
Well, at the beginning you had that whole, oh shit, whenever they were told that a judge was following them, but whenever you start seeing the blasé reactions to the judges later on, to an extent, it seems to take away that feeling of
I know,
it.
but that's a complete difference.
If you're getting high in a car, speeding down the highway, and you see a cop behind you, you're going to be, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. If you're quite happily in a gang where you have had a false sense of security, and you're basically thinking of yourselves as untouchable, and you're told that 2 cops are in this building locked in with thousands of gang members, you're going to be pretty blasé.
That's true. I just wish that one of the cops, when they mentioned that it was Judge Dredd, there was a scene when they mentioned it was Judge Dredd that they were facing, and you actually had a close-up of the sort of the techie guy, who the semi-albino guy, and for a second, he looked extra worried, and I just wish he'd say, Judge Dredd, oh shit. Like, because, tech guy, geek, he probably would have heard of him.
Also, he had the awesome screensaver. He had the star screensaver, because apparently in the future we're running Windows XP. Oh yeah.
Well, it is better than most of the operating systems that followed.
I don't know, Ubuntu, Windows 7, currently iOS outstrips it, and Windows XP is the most hackable system in the world.
iOS. Really?
The current version of iOS outstrips it in performance. Shut up, you stopped studying computer science a while ago. Stop looking at me like that. I'm not dinner.
Lucky you. So yeah, back to the film there. It was good. Give it a try.
Yeah, when it comes out in a few weeks, watch it. It'll, especially if you like action films, or if you want to see a Judge Dredd film that is truer to the, not so much the Sylvester Stallone movie actually got his character quite right, which was basically see crime, deal with crime. It just made him deal with it in slightly more PC ways. But the world was not really portrayed in the right way. While this one gets it right, just not so visually. And the story is more important, so therefore, obviously, this one is superior to the 90s version.
It felt like a day in the life of Judge Dredd. It didn't really feel like a story, though. I mean, at the end, he wasn't a changed man.
He's not supposed to be a changed man. He never changes. Judge Dredd never changes. That's one of the appeals of the character.
But Anderson changed quite a bit.
Yeah, like the idea that you've got to have a story arc, frankly, as someone who enjoys occasionally telling stories, not so much in reviews, but otherwise, I don't like the idea that characters have to be changed by story. I don't like that. Most characters will be changed by story, but why do all of them?
I don't know, I was just pointing that out. Anderson committed mind rape, and it was glorious.
Oh yes, that was very good. It's like, heroic mind rape. Fuck yeah.
Right, I get the feeling, though, that the thing he did at the end with the pumping her full of drugs and, you know, throwing her out the window so she'd be going at 1% speed, even though it was 8x slower, not 1%. I get the feeling that would be listed as cruel and unusual punishment.
Doesn't matter. Judge can do it. I have to say, I did not expect
He is the law.
drugging someone with a crazy drug and throwing them into, out of,
200 floor high thing.
yeah, and then letting them splat against the concrete was going to be a Chekhov's thing. I did not expect that.
And I didn't expect it to be so damn pretty.
Yeah, it's the most pretty falling for a great distance and then splatting against concrete that I've ever
Splatting on
seen.
their face! Just like, no, their face splattered on my face, and I was like, ah.
I'm so glad this happened.
That and the fact that the soundtrack for the slow-mo bits were literally the soundtrack slowed down.
Yeah, things sound very pretty when you slow them down about 800%. Even Justin Bieber, try taking a Justin Bieber thing, putting it down 800%.
Oh yeah,
It
I've
sounds
heard
amazing.
that. Especially the Jurassic Park theme does it really well.
Well, Inception did that very well with the same piece of music across different things being the same one, but
Yeah. I particularly like the slow motion stuff because I love slow motion video. Like on YouTube, there's a couple of people from England who do ridiculous
The
things.
slow-mo
like,
guys,
Yeah, the slow-mo guys. They set fire to tennis balls and hit them.
they
and
burst water balloons and...
Yeah, they do it in all in slow motion, and it looks incredible. It's really interesting. It's amazing how much of the world, when slowed down really, really much, does look like CGI, especially things like fire.
Yeah.
It just shows that CGI gets fire right,
Fire is pretty.
especially in slow-mo bits.
oh wait, you fire. No.
Okay.
Judge Dredd was good. We got some trailers too. We got the movie that apparently is about me, Sinister. I didn't appear in the trailer though. People have sent me the trailer and said, "Holy shit, you're in a movie!" So we're gonna have to watch that because apparently I'm in it. What else do we get for trailers?
Fuck, I don't know. Ben and Jerry's.
I had Skyfall yesterday. I'm assuming it was the same trailers and yesterday. No.
No, no Skyfall
Oh,
trailer.
I thought I missed
Skyfall
it.
looks like an actual James Bond film for the first time since Die
It
Another
does.
Day.
It looks like a dark and gritty James Bond film, but with the actual elements of a James Bond film in it.
Yeah, it looks like a proper one. Like, I suppose it makes sense given that the Bond Generation 1 took till Goldfinger to actually look like an actual James Bond film. Doctor No and From Russia with Love are fine films, but neither of them are a James Bond film as we know it. Both of them have bits of James Bond, but Goldfinger was the first film to take all of the tropes that we could find with Bond and put them in one film.
What would you say was the most James Bondy film? I think it's GoldenEye.
I don't know. If I was gonna actually have, I don't know, but there's a bunch of them.
Didn't
Get on that. Make a list of the most James Bond films.
Isn't Die Another Day the one where it
Oh,
took
God.
everything to up to
No.
11?
No.
That's Die Another Day, someone with the Crystal Ice Palace and the Invisible Car.
They took a lot of okay, Colin. This is what happens with James Bond films. They would start off very basic, and then they would get more and more ridiculous and more ridiculous, and then it would hit critical mass. The first time this happened was You Only Live Twice. Then the next one was very basic again, and then they went up again. And the next one was one of the early Roger Moores. I can't remember which. Then it goes down again, and it was the one with Julian Glover as the villain. It goes up again, and I believe the last one in that set was like Video a Kill, and
Video
then
Kill wasn't that crazy.
well, he has a tendency to get more and more ridiculous, and then go gritty. Then the last time this happened was Die Another Day to Casino Royale.
It's a tangent curve.
Die Another Day to its Power Ranger suit and ion cannon.
Yeah, Die Another Day was terrible.
Yeah.
The
And Madonna was in it. Fuck off.
yeah. But watch Dr. No and From Russia with Love again. Both of them are missing parts of Bond stuff. Okay. Dr. No is missing the James Bond theme. It's missing a lot of the sort of gadgets, obviously.
Wait, do you mean the James Bond theme or the James Bond theme?
Do do do.
Oh, that one.
Sorry, not the theme. The gun bit with the music.
Ba-dum, ba-dum.
It's missing that, and then it's also missing a lot of the gadgets and shit. Then From Russia with Love is missing the over the top villain. Except Red Grant and what do you call him, Klebb are not really over the top James Bond villains. But then Goldfinger gets all of it in one package and creates the first proper James Bond film.
Golden Car, fucking Shark Pit, fucking A.
No, that wasn't in.
There's a shark pit in every James Bond movie.
No, it wasn't. That was in.
No, there is a shark
Only
pit in
Live
every
Twice.
James Bond movie. You
No,
just don't see it.
Goldfinger,
He's
not
all fond of silver cars,
Goldfinger did other stuff.
gold.
No, the Goldfinger literally had a car that was made out of gold to smuggle the shit.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Bond. Okay.
It was, but yeah, Judge Dredd was good.
Yeah, Magic Mike was quite shit.
Yes, Magic Mike was.
Sorry, I forgot what film we were talking about. Is that us?
Yeah, Colin, what do you think? Final thoughts?
Watch it.
What do you think, Arnie?
I'm driving.
And now we don't see.
What do you think, sir?
I thought it was fine, and I think I'm possibly going to get annoyed comments from people who like James Bond films. I don't. Daniel Craig James Bond films are shit.
Yes, I concur.
Skyfall might be okay. It looks like an actual Bond film for once, which is nice. But as far as I'm concerned, the first 20 Bond films are Bond Generation 1, and that's the one I give a shit about. If you just cast Daniel Craig as Bond, and rather than reboot it, I would have been okay. Not happy though with the reboot.
I'm not going to get involved in this internet hate discussion.
Good night, everyone.